What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to go over the Q4 sales and profit analysis. Like I've said before, and like you've probably seen before, I have done each quarter. I've done a video for showing my profits, my breakdowns, and talking about it as well. Because just by seeing some numbers on the screen, it doesn't really mean a lot until you put it into the context of business. So I'll be talking about that as well. So I've hidden some of the pieces of information on here, not everything, because a lot of it I'm going to reveal in 10 seconds anyway, so who cares. This is going to be October, November, and then December, and then my summary for the quarter. And there'll be a separate video that I'll release, and I'll be recording right after this, which will be the year total, showing you what does that year look like as a total for everything. And there'll be a lot more analysis going on with average ROI or like margins, because once you've got a full picture of a year, you can bring up a lot of good averages to give you, what's your average return rate, how many units did you sell, what was this, all that kind of thing. And you can start to break it down a lot easier. Quarterly, you still can do it, but I haven't done it in this just because I don't want to keep the videos super long if I'm going to be kind of talking about the same things in both videos. So we're going to start with October. So October Q4, of course, it's not the proper Q4, but sales were good. So, what we're going to do is here, obviously what you can see is my expenses. So, pallets online, fair enough, and prep. So, my biggest fee was prep, and that's going to be something that is just going to be there until I either resolve it or, even if I wanted to get a warehouse and staff, definitely with lockdowns, I'm in Lithuania. How easy is it to do that? Not very easy. How long would it take me to do it? A while. So, that is part of the package, and I have quite a good deal as well. I don't even have an expensive prep. I think it's like 43 to 45p per unit across on average. So that includes boxes and stuff like that as well. And any less, I can probably try to get it lower, but at what point does it become sort of worthless for the prep center because it's just too cheap? Obviously it takes man hours, so they have to hire more staff, and then there's no real profit at the end of the day. So I've left that open for everyone to see, and I'll talk about it as well. So let's just get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to unhighlight all of this for you. I'm just going to whiz through so you can see what's going on. So my Amazon October sales, and a lot of you will know this because I posted them already, 68,000 with gross profit at that, which is 17% gross profit basically. The VAT liability. Now, this is an interesting concept. This is a VAT liability on the product sold within this month. So obviously I've got 0% products and 20% products, and at the time 5%, but now there's not 5 as of January 2021. So the VAT liability I calculate based on the products sold within this month, but obviously a lot of these products I might have purchased 3 months ago, and I would have already claimed back that VAT in maybe a different VAT return. So I'm not actually, you don't do both sides of that VAT. You don't claim back the VAT and pay the VAT when it's sold. You do the two transactions separately. So my VAT liability is not actually what it shows you here. Because of the way VAT works. And what I do in the next video for my year, I actually show you a comparison of, this is more to give you a snapshot for the months. Imagine that month is that's forever. So obviously you're going to buy stuff, claim VAT back, you're going to sell the same stuff and then pay the VAT. We're acting as if this is just self-contained and there's no other month. Obviously, when you start adding other months and your quarters might end different times and stuff, VAT can get a little bit complicated, which I'll go over in the next video, which is the full year 2020 yearly video. And I'll show you basically the VATs for the months like this, and I'll show you what that totals. And then I'll show you the cash flow realized changes, basically. So real life. So what I've gone and done is I've gone to my VAT return, found the monthly amounts I did pay for each month, and then I've shown you the actual comparison of what this shows to what I really paid, which is really interesting as well. So where you might look at this and go like, oh, you paid 3. I didn't. I mean, there's a couple of months where it says I paid and I actually claimed back money from Amazon, but it's just the way that it's being presented here is to give you a realized value on what sales would create what profit if you just did it as a, that was its full self-contained story or whatever, so that's why it's a bit complicated in that sense, but I won't go over it anymore. So of course you've got the standard prep fees, fair enough, and expenses. My prep fees are there, sorry. I haven't for November given you an average and all that. We'll go over that in a sec. Sorry, for December. And that just bring out this. So it's really interesting. I think I might have already discussed this before, but I'll go over it again. You can see here the actual Amazon net profit is terrible. It's almost zero. Yeah, I think I have gone over this. And obviously my Amazon affiliate cashback coaching and all Amazon related incomes is there. So obviously my total for the month is this. And of course that's taking into consideration a VAT liability of that, which actually wasn't, was not the true realized value that I paid in terms of cash flow, so money going in and out. But against these products sold in that month, obviously that is the VAT liability. So already you can see this a bit skewed in terms of what did I make, because in terms of that month I actually made a different amount. But this is just showing you as best representation of these products sold. In theory you could get rid of that because that's obviously not correlated to any of this. So really you could just take that Amazon net profit as if you did all that, but then again, why was it so low? My prep was high, yeah, and that's without VAT. So I would have personally actually paid more, but obviously I can claim back that VAT. So you can see here, $7,000 basically, and obviously I've got to pay for the pallets. So a lot of it, is always going to be my prep. But what you've got to also understand is that, that's October. So of course October's, next month's November, then December. I'm going to be trying to send in as much stock as possible. Now, if you look at how many units that correlates to, I know I haven't got it here because it'd just be like the most long video ever. It will not be it will be far more units for that than I would have sold for this month. And if you really want me to break it down and find the information, just comment and I'll actually, I can post screenshots, but I do it all the time, so it's pretty obvious. But that means a lot of this prep amount doesn't actually correlate to this month. So that's why you've got to be really careful when you look at people's figures and costs and that, because you're like, that 600 could be $4,000 if I use the cash flow, like what I actually pay for that month, if you get what I mean, rather than how I'm presenting it. So I'm giving you both sides of the coin so you understand. When you could go and look at someone else's profits or sales and analytical, videos, whatever they do, it could be, oh, that they made $4,000. Well, why did they make $4,000? Why is Luke shit? Why is he only made 610? You've got to be, you've got to understand it isn't as easy as that, because there's different, like a cash flow forecasting, a balance sheet, a profit and loss account. They're all there for a reason, and I'm trying to present you a mix of it all, but trying to give you the best representation of it all, because otherwise it would be like giving you like a 4-hour financial summary, report, and it's just you wouldn't watch it, the video. So you can see, and then if you want to go to November, let's just bring out all of that crap because we do not want to spend ages going over it again. So you can see here my prep again has gone up. Yes, my sales have gone up, but a lot of those sales would have related to what the October prep. That's what you got. So it's almost like you're delaying the profit, because what you're doing, definitely over Q4, you're delaying. So where I made a really low amount of profit, I'm delaying that profit. I don't want profit. If I've got profit, then I'm not sending in enough stock. Yeah. Obviously, if you've got no cash left, you can't do it, force it. But I want to be sending in so much stock that I'm going to reap the rewards end of November and December. So I want that profit to be as low as possible, even negative, because your prep, if I could double the prep cost, that means I'm sending in so much stock that it's going to be so sweet in December. That profit's going to come in. Yeah. So you're delaying the profit. You could decide, no, I don't want to do that, and take it as a more distributed amount over the year, so it's more dispersed, and maybe it's safe. But short term for a month or two, I don't mind doing this. I won't do it all year. Q1 I won't act the same as this. But this is just knowing that I really want to be going all in for everything in every aspect. And of course, you can start to now see the realized value: 68 to 164k in sales. Obviously, the VAT is that. I've just started putting a couple of these bits here. That's just that that minus the VAT to give you net profit, or is that even net profit? I don't even think it's. That's actually proper gross profit. The reason I put gross profit up here as that, not including VAT, is because I can't. The software I use does not provide me gross profit with a correct VAT figure, so I have to find out it without VAT, then obviously calculate the VAT, and then gives me a proper gross profit. So I've got to do a bit of manual work there. Again, prep fees have gone up, so that would have been £9 plus VAT. What's that? A lot. And I now got a VA, so I'm starting to pay for that, but 200 quid's nothing. You know, when you're paying like £9, like these look like pennies. Oops. These look like pennies, you know, on that. 20. Now you can start to see Amazon's net profit is starting to actually realize. But again, what is that really my net profit? What, you know, what was my November? I've just paid, you know, just as a quick insight. I'll go over this in the next video. My September, October, November VAT bill, that, and I've just paid it. It's January now. I've just paid that. Was just under £7,000. Well, that says 10.5 for 1 month, plus the 3,500 here, plus the September of 2005. You know, did I pay 15 or whatever that comes to? No, I paid 7, because there's leveraging strategies that I implement through my business that I always make. Like basically, there was a whole section. There was like a 2-hour webinar on it with the Elite Sellers Academy that me and Natalie Cromie do, because obviously I give this information. Me and Natalie give our tactics or strategies to you guys, and so that's obviously all covered in that. But you know, it's just VAT leveraging to offset short-term costs and to improve short-term cash flow positions. So you know, but obviously that's against this. You know, that's how much if I sold them. You know, you get what I mean. I've already mentioned it. You know, obviously I've got the Amazon cashback and affiliate thing here. Obviously on my costs again, the prep's pretty much the whole thing. But then, you know, the Amazon side, 11,000, and that's obviously with a big prep. You know, like last year, I had no prep. So in the Q4, I made 30,000 or 29 or something. No, I think I might, I lie. I think I made like 27 or 26 and a half, but then I had other incomes that topped it up. So about 30 grand. But obviously, I see it all as part of the same thing. If I didn't sell on Amazon, didn't do Amazon, I wouldn't be able to make these other Amazon related income, so it's all part of the same pie. Even the same, it just sounded cool, all right. And you know, 30,000, but still, it's not great. You know, I'm having to do a lot of sales because you know, it's not half, but you get what I mean. But again, it's November, and I'm looking to really ramp up that prep fee because December's coming, baby. You know, I'm like, you know, yeah, there's obviously comes to a point where you just can't physically, you know, there's only so much you can spend and get in. And obviously it takes some time for disbursements to come in. So again, I couldn't get that to zero, you know, zero. And what you could do as a strategy going for next 2021 is you could go, okay, well, what was my last month's profits? Let's try to use that profit as a way of going, right, I've made that much. So if I carry on as I am the stock, I can spend £11,175 on prep or whatever, warehouse staff and whatever, to get in 30,000 units of stock in a month or something. And that would bring me over £1 million in December or something. That would probably give you I'll have to check that, but it will give you over £1 million in December, and so on and so on and so on. So it's like you're just delaying that cost. And obviously then come December, boom, yeah, I got that to go over in a sec. I don't really know I've hit that bit, but it's not even that high, so don't care. Did I unhide everything here? Yes. Yeah, so we go. So let's go over this. So we're just going to do the old grammar reveal. I did a summary as well, so I'll jump over to that. So my sales for December, 295,600, blah, blah, blah. VAT liability, again, you know, you understand what I mean by this whole VAT liability. It won't be 22. Now, it might be closer to 22 than not, unlike the others, because the others were like, I spent 7, and the last quarter, you spent paid 7, and it's saying 15, so obviously that's about half. But on this VAT return, I'm sure, because obviously I'm not, well, Q1, you don't spend as much on purchases as such. You can, and it's probably not going to be terrible, but it'll probably be like 15, not half, because of you know, you just can't. Yeah, I'll go over that in the next video explaining why and stuff. Of course, all the prep, all the other fees, but yeah, the prep fee here is not as high. Of course, I didn't need it to be as high, because because obviously at some point I stopped sending in stock, and that means January's prep fee. That's even say that let's just say I can do 60 grand this month. I don't know what I'll do, whatever it ends up being. My prep fees could be £2,000. Yeah, so it's not the realized profit is not always apparent in the month that actions are taking place. In theory, a great strategy is you could never make profit in 1 year, but have 100,000 units in stock by the. You could, if you wanted to play this game, you could this strategy. You could literally have no profit for a year, but because your prep fees is like 20 grand a month, but you have like 40,000 units by then, and then you literally just let it run. You have, I know that you can't do it with limits and stuff, but that's to say you could. It's just a, some story or whatever. What do they call it? Just an example. And then you could do a 2 million in sales, 40,000 units. No, you wouldn't be able to do that. Let's just say a million. In sales. Would you be able to do a million? No, I lied. If you did that, you would be able to have 100,000 units. I'm just trying to think of how many units I send in. 120,000 units with 10 grand. Yeah, that sounds about right. About 100,000 units. And you could basically get in 100,000 units. And I had 15,000 to 20,000. I was doing 500,000. So already you can see you're doing millions. And then the next year that you just wouldn't ever send any prep in, as in you wouldn't have any prep costs because you would have a year on, year off. Yeah, you have no profit for a year, but then you do 2 million in sales and you make 400 grand, 300, whatever you make it, and then you could repeat that. It's just like the money is, or the action, the results are there, but sometimes you can just do things to make it show up in different places and different times. Anyway, enough of that. So let's just get on to the actual. No one really cares about any of that, so let's just get on to this. Okay, so I made 36,506. Obviously adding on a little bit there, but again, as I said, my actual cash flow, my money in the bank, is probably closer to. Well, it's because I haven't done my November return, sorry, December return. My December, January, and February will get paid in May, April. So I don't know what the actual. I guess December's done, so I could work it out. But it could have obviously done as a quarter. It's like, what does that quarter represent rather than a month? If it was monthly, then fair enough. That would correlate better. But that's to say that's probably like 16 or 17, 16. So, but still, that's like 8 grand more. So, in theory, my cash position is like as if I've had 8 grand more. And actually, at the moment, it's even higher because obviously I haven't paid that VAT. But it's a bit of a complicated area to talk about. And again, I've just put up. In December, that's how many units I shipped basically, with We Prep and Complete Prep. Just showing you a breakdown quickly. Units, the cost. It's obviously different. Why have I got different costs? All right, don't matter. Take equal that. All right, something's happened. Just take the 7,000. All pretty much the same to me. That looks the same number because it's in the thousands, certainly high thousands. It just doesn't even register in my brain. What's that? 20. Yeah, cool. But anyway, jump to the actual details. This is obviously the summary. That's just untick all of that. 6,000. To me, that's quite nice. That's what I like to build up at the moment, actually, as well. The non-Amazon related, meaning not non-Amazon related, but like things related to it anyway. So Q4 2020 sales, 500,000 a bit. Gross profit, which is that and that, but that's obviously not minus this, so I had to then redo it. And yeah, VAT is 36 grand, but again, like I said, is it really, but that is actually at 6.88%. So really, that's not terrible. I believe I'm doing. If I haven't done the right calculations for some reason, you can just tell me or laugh at me or whatever you want to do. Because sometimes I get it wrong. Prep again, 23,000. So that is a lot. If you're doing that times 4, like if you're doing that as not 500,000. What I'm talking about. Get confused with my numbers. These guys, 100 grand or whatever. Yeah, you might not do the same through Q1, Q2, but it's like there's definitely, yeah, it's high, but I'm still getting a good profit. But I could be getting a lot more. But it's like, now, at least now this year, for me, it gives me options. I have got options. I can go in as a partnership with someone else that's in the UK and do some sort of prep thing, because I'm spending that much on prep. Therefore, I'm happy to go, here's £5,000 a month, sort my prep out, or here's £6,000 a month. That still will come out cheaper than the average per year. Or I strategize and I split the prep over a year a little bit more evenly, but then I'll incur long-term storage fees and stuff. So there's lots of little things I'm thinking of and looking at. It's like, do I really need to spend that much on accountant? This is obviously a quarterly, but how, do I really need to have SELLERBOARD? Do I really need, and yeah, most of these I do, to be honest, because I don't have much else. But you really got to look at it. And now that, when you look at a yearly, not so much a quarterly, you can really look at the numbers and see what do you need, what do you not, and try to eke out extra profits. Again, our gross profit margin there. Do I have anything here? No, I don't. But you can see I made about 50k net profit through Amazon. Obviously, implementing the VAT as I have been explaining in the video. And my total monthly net profit, it's actually not monthly, it's the quarterly. Is the 55, pretty much 55 for the quarter. Even I had 23,300. So you can see as even though the profit and stuff like there, prep fees is giving me no profit here. Okay, it's almost 1-to-1 parity. Okay, I'm making a bit more, but it's because I'm obviously, here it's far less, but it's because I'm shifting the profits and moving them. So it's very difficult to look at 1 month's sales of anybody, even a quarterly, even a yearly if you're in certain industries, I guess. But yearly you can, looking at a yearly, but you could be like, you could heavily invest in December for the next year, and the next year won't obviously show that investment, and you'll be doing loads of sales, but when you go over your VAT liabilities and all that, like this, that December VAT would not be showing because of the way that I've done this. So if I was ever doing this, if I put like $1 million in December, you would never see that if I was doing a January to just, so there's got to be careful of how it's being presented, but there's no perfect way. Everyone's going to present it differently, and I'm just trying to give you the best representation that I can see, like how people might look at it and stuff. Anyway, going to leave it there, just so you can double check and see 500,000 sales for Amazon. And looking at products I sold, I could have done 700 grand just being in stock on the same stuff. That's it. So not even improving on what I'm selling, just being in stock more, or improving the logistics, cutting down that time. It's very difficult with with the limits and with obviously the unknowns of Amazon. So sometimes you just can't do any more than you can do. But that is what I would say is a takeaway. And also, when you start actually playing with these sort of prep numbers and prep fees, it does give you options. I might say, well, you pay so much, but why don't you get a warehouse? Well, how am I going to get a warehouse? I'm not there. The only way I can do it is go in with someone, but that takes time, because you've obviously got to, build up a relationship with them. Then you've got to let them do certain things, and you've got to give them money. And you're not, I'm not going to be able to go back to the UK anytime soon, really. To set that up. So do I hold off? Do I, and it's kind of like that. But ultimately, yes, the prep is high, but I'm able to do other things. I don't have to break my back was just getting annihilated. So I paid £23,366 for 3 months of not having a bad back. Damn, that's an expensive bill, medical bill. But anyway, going to leave it there. Questions, welcome. Let me know, and I will straight after this be recalling the yearly profits and analysing a little bit more about the VAT I mentioned, and showing you some averages, return rates and stuff like that. So questions, let me know. Hopefully you got some information that you can take away from this for next year, for 2021, or this year, 2021. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.